Hey everyone, I just wanted to talk about some issues, if you will, for lack of a better word, or problems if you buy a phone from a less popular brand. So in this case, I have a Motorola Moto G Power from 2022, and I also have my Samsung S22 Ultra on the left. So first thing is going to be updates. So if we look at the Motorola here, you can see this got a last security patch of December 1st of 2023 and is running only Android 12 compared to like Samsung, which will give nowadays they're giving out 4 years of OS updates and even more security updates. So the first problem is with these less popular brands is not all of them, but a lot of them seem to give out less OS updates and security patch updates. So with a lot of Motorola phones, not all of them, they're more expensive ones. They give out a bit more OS updates, but with a lot of their phones, they only seem to give out 1 year, maybe 2 years of OS updates. Doing a quick Google search, Asus only gives out 2 years of updates. Again, if you look at like Apple, you're talking, I believe it's about 5 years of updates nowadays. Or if you look at Google, they are up there as well. But then if you look at least here in the US, OnePlus, I wouldn't say they're very popular, at least not around me. I never really seen anybody with those phones. Now they are actually given 4 years of updates, OS updates, with at least with the OnePlus 12. So of course, depends on the brand, but I would say compared to more popular brands, the less popular brands, at least here in the US, just do not give out as many OS or security updates. Then another thing I have noticed is if you go trade in your phone. So like I'm on the Shop Samsung app here, scrolling down to the trade-in amount here. If you go to, when this is like an A03s, that's $50 they'll give you for it. Now of course this is on Samsung website, so they might give you a bit more for Samsung over other phones. But if you go in here and I say, I want to trade in like my S22 Ultra, that's $650 they'll give me towards the S24 Ultra. Or changing it to an Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max, you're talking about $400. Google Pixel 7 Pro is $300. Then if you go to the brands, you can only see Samsung, Apple, or Google. So those are your only options. There's not even Motorola on there, which I think are somewhat popular here in the US. At least their mid-range or budget phones are. So if you hit other, they will give you $50 towards any other phone. So if you just went out and bought, say, the new Motorola Razr, which are not cheap phones, or the Razr Plus, not cheap phones, they only give you $50 for it. Compare that again. That's the same amount they give you for the Samsung A03s, which is a very much a budget-friendly phone, very cheap phone. Unless you have Samsung, Apple, or Google, even OnePlus, which is again, it's not a popular brand by any means, but it's still a good brand. You're not gonna be able to get any trade-in for it. And the same thing is true if you were to go and want to trade in a phone on an Apple phone. So we have the 15 Pro Max here. So if you go select smartphone for trade-in, you have a bunch of different iPhones, of course, being this is Apple. You have a bunch of Samsung phones, and then you have Google phones. And then here they actually do have OnePlus, but they're stuck on the 10. So you're talking, 2 generations old now, which is kind of crazy. Then for them, so even with the Google, they actually only have up to 6 Pro, which again is now almost 3 generations old since Google just announced the 9s. Those come out pretty soon here. So again, unless you have an Apple, a Samsung, or a Google phone, or in this case a OnePlus, you're not going to get anything for them. Yeah, so those are just a couple of things when you buy a less popular brand of phone. Of course, there's many more things depending on what brand you buy. But those are 2 main things that I've noticed. You all let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.